Okay, hello. So I'm going to do a quick slash short video regarding motivation and trusting the process as a whole. So I guess to start off with, it's obviously a good idea to address what is motivation. Now, motivation is simply just an emotion. It's a feeling that we have to kind of pursue something strongly, and motivation tends to be more persistent and more of a strong emotion that we have when we begin to do something new, such as if you're starting let's say you're starting a new exercise program, or you're starting a new job or a new course. You're usually, feeling really motivated about starting, about getting going, because it's new and it's all novel. However, after a certain time, the novelty begins to wear off, and you begin to feel more of the effects of putting in effort, tiredness, kind of cost versus reward, all that kind of thing, and your motivation might start to dwindle a little bit. Now, there's kind of three main things I want to talk about regarding motivation. Now, the first thing to address really with motivation in general is kind of the underlying principles that would kind of mean that you feel motivated day to day. So firstly, are you clear on your goal? Do you have clarity as to what you're trying to achieve? And if so, do you know what you need to do in order to achieve it? Do you know why you need to do that in order to achieve it? And do you know how you need to do it in order to achieve it? For example, let's go with something really generic. Your goal is to lose £10. So you know what your goal is. Do you know what you need to do? Okay, I need to eat in a calorie deficit and do this many steps per day. Do you know why you need to do that? Do you know why you need to be in a calorie deficit? Do you know why you need to do a certain amount of steps per day? And then, fourthly, do you know how you need to do that? Do you know how you're going to put a calorie deficit into practice? Do you know how you're going to ensure you have enough time to go for a 20-minute walk every day? That kind of thing. And when you've got all them things clear, then we can move down, I guess, like the second tier, which is, why do you want to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve? And, if you're feeling kind of not motivated all the time, then, that might be a kind of an issue with you're not fully clear on why you're trying to achieve something. And there's a 4 why process I get my clients to go through, which kind of really tries to identify the reasons to why you're trying to do something, or the reason why you're wanting to do something. So, for example, you may say, okay, I want to lose £10. Okay, why do you want to do that? Well, I want to look a bit better. Okay, but why do you want to look better? Well, I'm pretty insecure. If I lost £10, I would have more self-confidence and I would just feel better in myself. Okay, well, why do you want to feel better in yourself? Okay, because if I feel better in myself, I'll perform better in my job, I'll be better in my relationships, I'll be better with friends, with family, that kind of thing. And then when you really try to, I guess, analyse the reasons why you're wanting to do something, then even on days where you're having a bad day, or you're having a kind of, I guess, a low motivated day, then you refer back to the reason as to why you're doing something. Now, if them two are covered and you're still not feeling motivated, then thirdly, what is your current state like? Have you slept? Because sleep is a huge influence on our ability to kind of, and if you're sleep deprived, then your ability to kind of sit with that emotion is out the window. Are you eating enough? Are you feeling fueled enough? Maybe that's the factor why you don't feel motivated, because you have no energy. Are you eating enough micronutrients? Are you eating enough protein? Are you recovering enough? Have you got any other stresses going on in your life? School, family, work, relationships, are they influencing everything? Because they can definitely influence your motivation. And then when you've kind of gone through all them 4 steps and all them 4 different reasons, I want you to think about, but I want you to kind of understand that motivation is not something that you're supposed to feel all the time. If you felt motivated all the time, you'd probably die of a heart attack, because when you're feeling motivated and I'm ready to go, you're in a really heightened state, and that's why it's kind of only a fleeting emotion. And as I've said before, emotions are literally fleeting, and you can't control them. You can't control when you feel them, how you feel them, what certain emotions come up, but all you can do is control how you respond to them and what you choose to do, that you have control over. And I guess having an acceptance that you're not always going to feel motivated, and that if you don't feel motivated, there's not a problem. It's just that's just the way the human condition is, and that's just how we are. But instead, not relying on motivation to do the things that you need to do in order to get to the place you want to be. Because if you're relying on motivation, then you're a bit screwed, because motivation is, as I've said about 10,000 times, it's a temporary emotion that you'll feel at the start of something or after watching something inspirational. And if you don't have systems and habits in place to be able to rely upon when you don't feel motivated, or you have a strong why as to why you're doing something, then not having motivation is going to be the detriment to your success. And that's why a lot of people fail, because they don't understand all the different processes and steps behind feeling motivated, and so they just rely upon having that, that random urge of motivation to go on a 5k run, when actually, that isn't something that you can rely upon day to day. So that was longer than I thought, but yeah, hopefully that helped. And yeah, be interested to know your thoughts on motivation. When do you feel most motivated? And also if this was helpful. Yeah, thank you for watching, and speak soon.